What is going on, YouTubers? First off, let me first apologize for for being late here to do this all the wrestling reviews, which I'm about to get to right now because I actually went out and basically came back and you know I got to watch AEW Dark, which it was about an hour ago, or you said like 2 hours ago, 2 hours and a half ago in a way. But nevertheless, I finally got the opportunity to watch the show at after I came back, and just came over with folks. Just got this right here. Just give one moment. I think I will start this these only wrestling reviews and just take care of those right here first. Okay, hopefully that's better. So yeah, like I said, I went out earlier to do some things. Then I came back, and then once I came back, I started to start watching AEW Dark, which it was about 2 hours and a half ago that it happened, and now I didn't get to watch it live. Again, I went out. But when I came back, not much going on the show there. But there was something that happened on the show, which I'm gonna get to it. But yeah, just let you all know what's going on. Why I come up here a little late doing this review, or should I say, this only wrestling reviews, which I'm gonna get to. When it comes to the re-shows this week for AEW, particularly when it comes to Dark, Dynamite, and Dark Special, which I'm gonna get to once we get to it. So for it's the Natural Born Gorilla, and welcome everyone, ladies and gentlemen, to All Elite Wrestling Reviews, which is giving you AEW Dark results, AEW Dynamite results, and the AEW Dark Special results pertains to the Golem Show edition for all three shows pertains to lead up for AEW Full Gear 2020. So I'll be right back, and then we can begin. And I am back, folks. Now let's get ready to start. We're gonna start off with the all the wrestling reviews. Start off with AEW Dark results from November 4th, 2020. Just to let everyone know, Bomber Wrestling were 50 matches, just to get that out of the way. But they're in various places in Jacksonville, Florida, with your commentators Excalibur, Taz, and Anthony Ogodo. I think that was his name, right? Yeah, he was on it before, but I just want to double check and make sure. That's his name. Just give me one moment. Trying to find it right now. Let me see here. His name is somewhere here. Unless it's look at the wrong one. Okay, look at the same one here. There we go. Let me see now. I think it was Anthony Ogogo. Anthony Ogogo. But yeah, either way, he was on commentary. And yeah, let's get right into it. The opening match was, I believe, a tag team match. I could be wrong. Oh, actually, no, it's not. the opening match was a singles match actually. It featured Bishop King. And by the way, yeah, I didn't realize what pertains to his name. I thought this was going by BSHP, but instead it's going by Bishop King. Except they're not spelling it. His full name. Now I know that that's his full name. His real full name or not, but pertains to his name Bishop King. But basically, they gave us initials here, but pertains to BSHP. But we got Bishop King versus Darby Allin. Darby Allin and Bishop King looked pretty good in the match. Match itself was decent, with Darby Allin getting the win. Now I can't remember if it was during the last time we had AEW Dark where Will Hobbs was being confronted by Darby Allin. I mean not Darby Allin, not I mean Ricky Starks meant to say. And then Brian Cage attacked him. And I think in this one, I think on that same over here too, where James and Darby Allin being attacked by Ricky Starks and Brian Cage, which is Will Hobbs coming out. I believe it was on the show too. Now talking about last time, last AEW Dark show is what Will Hobbs being attacked. Well, and, where he almost got attacked. I can't remember if he got attacked or not, but it was happening basically something about what happened after this match. I could be wrong. It could be the other way around from the last time AEW Dark, but I digress. But just want to bring that up because I remember seeing that segment happening on AEW Dark. But it's whatever. Layla Hirsch teamed up with Elena Black. We've seen these two before, and they're here in this tag team match against Brandy Rose and Red Velvet. Obviously, Red Velvet was the impressive part of this team, Brandy Rose and Red Velvet, and also Lacey Hirsch, excuse me. It's good too. Elena Black, I want to see more of her. She's got a unique look. She's got a unique presence, unique character too, and I think she works pretty good in the ring. Brandy Rose, she was decent in the ring until we get the weirdest finish here. And one moment, folks. I apologize. Just give me one moment. Yeah, sorry about that. I had an important call, folks. I apologize. So I'm back now, and let's continue. There was basically an issue with the Disney that that need to be handled. So that's why because I was wondering what it's my sister was asking me it's not going in for a reason. I'm like, okay, let me see. And I realized okay, it was wrong email. Same back to this. Hmm. So Mandy Rose did something weird in the match. It was a weird finish. She goes for a schoolgirl, and it didn't look good. It did not look good. And then also when she hits her finishing move, the shot of Brandy didn't look good either. It looked terrible, and she got the win. So Brandy Rose and Red Velvet got the win, and that was it. Bad performance from Brandy Rose, but then again, who else? It's Brandy Rose. Any Limelight and Casey Novero, I think I say his name, go up against the Jurassic Express. It was Lucha Boy and um, Lucha Boy, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Oh, sorry, folks. But the matchup was decent. Jungle Express gets to win. Nothing to say about that. We get Rising versus Frankie Kazarian. Now during the match, Taz did a little dig at Triple H. Now I know it was meant to be that way, but just the way he said it was a little dig to Triple H, and I loved it. So they're talking about Rising, his name Rising, and then Taz was suggesting he should call Terra Rising, and he's like, nah, that's actually a terrible name. Basically taking a shot at Triple H's name when Triple H was in WCW, back in the 90s, before he came to WWF, when he was known as the Blue Blood, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. So Rising is a better name than Terrorizing. There you go. Oh, but the match is pretty decent with Frankie Kazarian getting the win. After the match, Frankie Kazarian is being interviewed by Dasha Gonzalez about what's his goal moving forward to him being in AEW as a singles wrestler. Frankie Kazarian was going to let him know his goals and everything. That also, the Hybrid 2 came out and had to go and Jack Evans attacking him. Also, Christopher Dan comes out for the save, and that was it. Not much to say about that. So the feud is going to continue on, So there you go. Dave Dutra, I did how you say his last name, goes up against Absolute Ricky Starks, and Ricky Starks gets the win. Matchup was on Ricky Starks' part was good. Of what he could do in the ring, obviously. Nothing much to say about it. Sean Manula and Alex Chamberlain versus Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. The match was pretty decent, with Brian Pillman and Griff Garrison getting the win. Pretty good, they just got a win. I can't remember if this is the first one they had before. I'm pretty sure they had before another one before. In fact, I think this is the first one, if I recall. But I digress. But also, and Lance Archer comes out and attacks all of them, beats them all up. Jake Roberts says everyone that crosses the path is making a big mistake, and then Lance Archer says he's full of rage and will take care of Kingston's family. Which is from the family of violence. Which is to the Butcher, the Lei'D, the Bunny, the El Zero Miedo, Ray Phoenix, and obviously Eddie Kingston. So there you go. Aaron Solo and Angel Fashion versus Max Caster and Anthony Bones, and basically another freestyle type of promo from Max Caster again. And I thought this one was actually better than the one he did before. And obviously, the match went about, and it was pretty solid for what it was. And Anthony wins, and Max Caster wins. Max Caster. Yeah. So there you go. We get VSK versus 5 of the Dark Order, which is Allen Angels, and match is so showcase for 5, and 5 gets the win. We get Peter Avalon, in the robe. He's backstage, and we see him answering the door of his locker room. And this as a person, we can't see the person, but this person must be for basically answering the call of being his new manager, since there's no more of him being the librarian, and he's lost David Bates as his manager. So Peter Avalon is being it's basically given a toast as creepy as he can be, hitting on this person, where it's supposed to be about business. It basically on the way it was done. It was like you've seen in the porn film, basically in an adult film. So then this person slaps Peter Avalon for being being unprofessional, and he says, get out. And he says he's pretty Peter Avalon. So yeah, so this is his gimmick now. He's pretty, and he's going by the name of Pretty Peter Avalon, and that was it. And he says he doesn't need anyone. He closes the door, and that was it. And then all of a sudden, the door knocks. He opens the door. And he's like, "I know you come back." Something like that, or whatever. And then the person ends up taking the glove back, and then he's like, "How dare you?" Something like that. How rude? Something like that. I don't remember how he said it, but that was it. So yeah, he's got a new look, a new gimmick, and there you go. So where's it gonna go? Well, I'll tell you where it's gonna go. It's gonna still have Peter Avalon losing his matches. There you go. Then we get to the Butcher and the Blade versus the Jersey Muscle. Obviously, the Butcher and the Blade won. They squashed them. And let's hear about the match. It was a good match though from the Butcher and the Blade's part. So there you go. Also, in the National Nightmares, I should say. Dustin Rose and QT Marshall came out, and they attacked the Butcher and the Blade. I forgot to mention, I think the Bunny was I think Allie the Bunny was out there too. I can't recall if she was there or not. But yeah, but that happened, and that feud's going on. D3 versus Will Hobbs. Will Hobbs basically won. In a squash in a matter of a minute or so. Then we get to Evil Uno and Stu Grayson of the Dark Order versus Nick Komoroto and Komoroto. I think that's how you say his name. Again, I'm trying to remember if that's how you say his name. But the same guy that's who looks look big and jacked and all that. And he seems to work with Baron Black. And matches over was pretty decent with the Dark Order obviously winning the match. We get John Silver, Colt Cabana, and 10 versus Sean Dean, Cesar Bononi, this time without his banana costume. And I forgot to mention that too, by the way, folks. During the Halloween episode of AEW Dynamite, I mean, if you want to call it that, a Halloween episode, he was wearing, Cesar Bononi was wearing his Halloween costume, and it was a costume of him wearing a banana suit. I'm surprised he had his maracas and sang the "It's peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time." Anyways, and also Fringo Del Sol. Also, 6-man tag match, decent match with the quarter winning. We get the debut of Lady Tapa. That's right. And I knew I seen it. I was Lady Tapa, for weeks now on AEW Dark and on Dynamite, but since her being there attending these shows, watching AEW matches and the show itself. And I was saying to myself, there's no can be wrong with this. That looks like Lady Tapa, and sure enough, before even this match even came up, this was one. I think it was episode of Dynamite where I realized, oh wait a minute, I knew it. That is Lady Tapa. like I knew I've seen her before, you know. And I'm surprised no one from the other panels didn't realize that either when these shows were happening before this point. The panel of the asylum. Just saying. But yeah, but she ends up being there going against Kylan King. Lei'D Tapa looked good. And surprisingly, Lei'D Tapa didn't win. It was Kylan King. Now the way they did it, they did it in a way where they still protected Lei'D Tapa. And Kylan King got the win with a frog splash, by the way. And where we all thought that we all thinking that maybe Lei'D Tapa was gonna kick out, but Lei'D Tapa was told to kick out of it. And so yeah, Kylan King got her first win here on AEW. And of all people, it goes against Lei'D Tapa. I thought it was going to win to Lei'D Tapa, but instead they gave it to Kylan King instead. But the way they did it in the way where they protected Lei'D Tapa. More than they did with with Alex Garcia. Or it was with Alex Garcia. The whole thing with Penalty 4. They did their job with that one. They did absolutely with this match with Lei'D Tapa versus Kylan King. They did a better job with this match than they did with Penalty 4 and Alex Garcia. So there you go. Chaos Project, I'm going to say. It's Serpentico and Dr. Luther. They go up against Private Party, which is Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn. One moment, folks. I gotta take care of this here. There we go. Just want to make sure that get rid of that. But yeah, match itself was pretty good. Pretty good tag team match between the two. Obviously, in the end, it was Private Party winning the match because they're gonna be getting the strong push pretty soon. They're getting a future tag team title shot again. So Sammy Guevara versus Lee Johnson. Sammy Guevara was basically manhandling Lee Johnson. Lee Johnson got some offense too, but Sammy Guevara was working like he was a big guy. Oh man. Where pertains to no selling any shots that Lee Johnson was doing at one point. But in the end, it was Sammy Guevara obviously getting the win, and there you go. And obviously he needed the win because she's going against Matt Hardy, and that was the main event. When I say Matt Hardy, it could be any type of Matt Hardy of the multiverse. So, where it pertains to Full Gear. And there you go, folks. That was your AEW Dark results from November 4th, 2020. My overall story for the show. I'm gonna give this show a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 show. I thought it was a good solid show for what it was. And basically this was AEW's first ever, well, this I won't say first ever. This is one of AEW's first show editions for this week for AEW Full Gear. And it started off with AEW Dark from November 4th, 2020. And that goes, excuse me, folks, I'm myself for the next results. I'll be right back. All right, folks, now it's time for your AEW Dynamite results, where this show itself was supposed to be the selling point for a home show for AEW Full Gear that day place in Jacksonville, Florida. The show from November. I think I'm making the date wrong, folks. Pertains to AEW Dark. Let me double check something here. Oh, okay. My apologies, folks. Pertains to AEW Dark results from November 3rd, 2020. This was actually November 4th, 2024 AEW Dynamite results. So yeah, from the beginning, I apologize for that. AEW Dark was the show from November 3rd, 2020. Which again, a 7 out of 10 I give it. And I will start off with this one with AEW Dynamite results on November 4th, 2020. This is actually November 4th, 2020. Jim Ross, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone, and Chris Jericho on commentary. So Dasha Gonzalez first, she opened up with Chris Jericho being interviewed by Dasha Gonzalez. Congratulating Jake Hager, who's there with him, win an MMA fight from last week. And I think Santana was there too, along with them. Also, MJF shows up with Wardlow, and MJF interrupts the interview and said that he thought that they had a little tensions last week and doesn't want to have that. And he says that he glad that Jericho will be Jericho will be doing commentary tonight because he will give a great view when he proves that he belongs in the inner circle. And then Chris Jericho says that the inner circle it's all about having that killer instinct, and basically Chris Jericho thinks that he doesn't have that killer instinct because he thinks that he is just a little soft. So that pisses off MJF, and then Jericho, was told by MJF that you think I'm soft? Well, watch this. So we get to this match between MJF and Wardlow versus the Inner Circle's Sammy Guevara and Ortiz. So the match happens, and it's being a pretty good match. All the two teams. At one point, Sammy Guevara was showing off so much, where Serpentico in the front row was trying to give him a high five, whatever, and then Sammy Guevara gives him a middle finger. And then Serpentico gets up, throws a steel chair at Sammy Guevara. Now, obviously, it was I knew that was Matt Hardy. When at first, because Serpentico doesn't show his ponytail. So, and outside of that, Serpentico doesn't have long hair. Not that I know of, but based on him wearing the mask, it doesn't look like he's got hair under his mask. But I digress if he does or not. But I guarantee it's not a long hair. But it was Matt Hardy. It was revealed to be Matt Hardy under there. And it's the same thing that happened with months ago when Sammy Guevara came back. After the whole thing what happened with him. With the whole thing where he's suspended. That whole situation I thought was bullshit. But he came back when he was he's wearing the Serpentico outfit, and now here's Matt Hardy with a Serpentico mask on, tricking Sammy Guevara, like how Sammy Guevara tricked everyone that he was Serpentico months ago when he came back. Oh man, it's just a nice touch there, a nice irony of it when it playing into the story, and it ends up having Wardlow and MJF winning because Ortiz was doing it on his own. And Wardlow and MJF wins. After the match, all of a sudden MJF just spears Jericho, just runs right at them. That's him. So what the hell was that about? And then Wardlow pulls him off and all that, and Jake Hager trying to get to him, but Jericho's like no. And then Jericho starts smiling and everything. And then once Jericho starts smiling, I'll see myself, okay, I see. I see what the booking was here. MJF is showing that he's got that killer instinct, and the way to prove it, he basically charged at the Chris Jericho and beats him up and everything. And the Jericho, obviously Jericho was saying that that he got beaten up and all that, and he attacked me and all that, which I thought was pretty hilarious that he keeps bringing it up to. That's what he wanted to see out of MJF. And that was it for that. That was it for that whole build between those two until we get to to a full gear. I thought it was good though, pretty good. You get Tony Schiavone having a sit-down interview with Kenny Omega at his home with his dog. And Kenny Omega says that this is not actually his home and this is not even his dog. Like, what the hell? What are they doing there? So I guess Kenny Omega says about this is a friend of his, whatever. I don't remember, but that was kind of weird the way that was done. But in this interview, this sit down discussion in a way, Kenny Omega talks about how he's got mildly complaints about his matches with him being in the tournament where he should have got he should have got a bye. And he's basically not talking about with the one, with the one with George Janela, that whole situation. He's talking about the one with Penta El Zero Miedo taking the place the place of his brother Ray Phoenix, who got hurt unfortunately during that time. Which is why he didn't compete. But he said, but he's not gonna compete that much because he wants to show everyone that he is the best wrestler in the world. He wants to show the Omega of old, and he's gonna prove it when he goes up against the Hangman Adam Page. Now he said this in the interview too. He says he was actually pulling for Warlow, but at the same time he's not shocked that the Hangman Adam Page is winning. And let's face it, anyone else thought that we were shocked to see this was going to happen? Don't kid yourself there. We knew this was going to happen. Since they announced the tournament, since they announced that both Omega and the Hangman and Picture could be in this tournament, we all knew the predictability, the outcome of the tournament. It was going to be at the end of the day, Kenny Omega versus the Hangman and Page at Full Gear. Anyone that says otherwise, you're wrong. You're just you're delusional. But nevertheless, this is going to happen, and I cannot wait. This is a match that they've been up so far, not just because of of what it takes to this whole tournament and what's on the line what it takes to this tournament, but because of the relationship of Kenny Omega and the Hangman Page, of them being the elite, or of them being traveling buddies, and then with them be part of AEW, and then becoming tag team champions, where they were not psyched to be tag team partners. But they don't do it, and it ends up paying off for them at the end of the day. And there we go. And obviously with them losing the belts back at All Out, now it's culminate all at Full Gear. There you go. It was good. I thought it was good though. Kamega and Twitch Finds sit down interview. The Best Man, Miro, being accompanied by Kip Sabian and Philly 4 versus Trent, being accompanied by Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. Miro first got a microphone and said to Trent, pertains to these two, not remember how Miro said it. Something in the line of I'm the best man, whatever. And then also he starts talking about Trent's mother. And then Trent had enough of that, and then he went right to Miro, and they had a match. And this was a good match, by the way. Miro versus Trent, it was a pretty good match. I mean, I wasn't shocked it was gonna be a good match, but after Miro's debuts, pertains to his matches, it has not been delivering. Now he was delivering. He was delivering his matches. The booking of it was to me got in the way of his debuts. Of his matches, I meant to say. But yeah, this one at the end of the day, this one actually ends up paying off. At one point we had Chuck Taylor and Kip Sabian fighting all the way out of the building, which led to Plebby 4 and Orange Cassidy at one point. And they had interaction before with Orange Cassidy and Plebby 4. I still want them to do something with that whole thing, because there was to do something with this before. With Kip Sabian, Jimmy Havoc, and Plebby 4 versus Best Friends and Orange Cassidy. Just go do the whole dynamic duel between the two sides. But then when Jimmy Havoc was part of the whole spin out movement thing, where he is being the one that was was did something wrong in his past, and then obviously and not let him off TV, but also let him off his contract of AEW. And it's unfortunate too. Basically, they were the Super Bad Squad, by the way, which I thought was a terrible name to begin with. Anyways, I guess before against Best Friends and Orange Cassidy in the future, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see the match between before versus Orange Cassidy. Plus, I'd love to see the intergender match coming pretty soon with AEW. Even when they did the intergender tag match which was not too long ago. this past year. When before on Cape Sabian, you near that against Kenny Omega and Riho, which probably I miss Riho. I wish she'd come back pretty soon. Hope she's doing okay though. From out of the blue, we wish they hear from her to see if she's okay. Just give us an update about that, like they did with PAC, which we'll get to him later. Anyways, but matches was pretty good out of the two. There was, like I said, there was interactions between Orange Cassidy and W4, and all of a sudden, I can't remember if it happened here. Yeah, she did. John Silver of the Dark Order attacks Orange Cassidy. But the match will continue. Obviously, in the end, it was Miro getting the win over Kip Sabian. I mean, not Kip Sabian. Yeah, that turn ain't gonna happen yet for folks. I believe eventually that will be a turn pretty soon for Miro. We'll see. But no, it was Miro beating Trent in the match. That's meant to say. After the match, Miro and Kip Sabian were beating up on best friends because at this point, Kip Sabian and Chuck Taylor came back, and they start and then outside, basically the brawl happening outside the ring too. Also, Orange Cassidy comes out of nowhere and the plunger on both Kip Sabian and Miro, and Miro is being held back by Kip Sabian and referee. Eventually, it's going to lead to something. A 6-person tag match. It's got to lead to that. It has to lead to that. Doesn't matter if before because if you've seen before how she can handle herself in the ring, especially with tends to male wrestlers, even during her time in the Indies, she can hang up. She can hang with the men's in the ring too. So I will definitely love to see that. Good old Gerald Jim Ross interviews the Hangman Adam Page, and he's drinking something, some type of whiskey. But anyways, the Hangman, he's basically talking about the match between him and Kenny Omega for Full Gear. He says, when he saw that he and then the Hangman himself and Omega are up to the size of the brackets. He figured this would happen, and we all knew it was gonna happen too. We all knew it was gonna happen too. So, but he says that he had pending on time to prepare to whoop the ass of Kenny Omega. Says that he knows all Omega's moves and knows how he thinks. And Jim Ross suggests that he may be nervous and drinking because of that. And Paige is, he's like, he may say, I've been nervous and that, and but it was hilarious though. That was brought up. And then he says that AEW started. He thought he would become the first ever AEW champion, but never happened. Never thought it. Obviously it never happened because he lost to Jericho. And he says that the tournament, will go up all that gap, sort of in a way. Because again, he didn't, but he said that he will, he wants to be AEW world champion, and there you go. And he's took a glass of whiskey in his hand. So yeah, the input was interesting. Not much to say about that. Yeah, hype video package for FTR and the Young Bucks pertains to their AEW well, basically a ton of AEW stars and commentators, I meant to say, commenting on two teams, and the matches of at Full Gear. Mark Anderson was part of it, talking about it and everything. Tully Blanchard was part of it as well, talking about it and all that. They built this up to be something, but except for one thing, just the stipulations thing is still irritating me on that like hell. But it's whatever, right? No, I'm not gonna say that. Actually, it's bad. It's bad. Taz, he comes out unannounced with Team Taz, which is Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. Complains about Tony Khan blowing him off today. Says that an assistant told him that Khan, I was too busy to talk about talk to him at the same, because he's dealing with guys that are going to be part of the pay-per-view. And Taz gets pissed off because that, because Brian Cage, who's got a 10-1 record, and he's #1 ranked on AEW of the rankings, and Ricky Starks, who's also got 10 wins from his last 11 matches, and he's not ranked he's not on the in the ranks of the top 5, and yeah, so he thinks this is horse shit. So Ricky Starks says that every opportunity he has in the AEW, he hits out of the park, which he has. He says that he has opened Dynamite and closed Dynamite shows, and he's proven why people are calling him absolute Ricky Starks, and wonder why he not ranked, on the top board there. And Stark says, how they still don't have a match too and everything. And Taz says, oh yeah, Brian Cage says on the line of, who better than Brian Cage? Absolutely nobody. So, but Taz says that he can't make any sense of all this and all that. Where it's Darby Allin versus Cody Rhodes for the TNT title, and Taz says he's gonna make his presence shown at Full Gear. So it's gonna be leading to something where it to the TNT Championship title match. We get to Full Gear between Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin, where Taz, basically Team Taz is gonna show up. And that should be interesting. So yeah, there you go. That was it. Good promo there though from Taz, obviously from Team Taz. And even though Brian Cage only said a little bit, but yeah, it was good. We get Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn versus the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. Because unfortunately, folks, Scorpio Sky and Shawn Spears, that match was canceled because Scorpio Sky came in contact with someone with COVID-19, which is why Scorpio Sky didn't show up. But he, they kind of let the company know about the whole situation. Just like every other AEW stars had let AEW know that they came in contact with someone with COVID-19, and I think that's the best way to do it too, to let them know about the whole situation. So Scorpio Sky, hope he's doing well. Hope he'll come back soon in the next 2 to 3 weeks, whatever. Keep himself quarantined, and there you go. Nothing but the best. And we'll see how they they continue the build up between Scorpio Sky and Shawn Spears in the future when he comes back. So in replacement, it was this match, Private Party and Young Bucks. So Matt Hardy comes out there with Private Party. All of a sudden, he gets attacked by Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara gets him a twist of fate on the stage and all that, beats him up and all that. Sammy Guevara gets out of there after that, and that was it. Matt Hardy was taking the back after that. So, but basically they're doing a little more of putting a little more influence into the build up for Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara before we get to Full Gear, which was great. I'm glad they did that way. So we had this match between Matt and Nick Jackson versus Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn, this tag team match, and it was good, very good tag team match, and it really showcased where were they at, where these teams were at last year, where the Young Bucks lost to Private Party in the opening round of the tournament to kind of new first ever AEW Tag Team Champions at the time. And Private Party got the win, a surprising win over the Young Bucks during that time on AEW Dynamite. And then we come across, I can't remember if it was, about 2 weeks ago on AEW Dynamite, when they met up with Private Party, it was like another match too. And one, it was basically a 4-way tag team match. That also included Dark Order, and also included the Butcher and the Blade. That also included Private Party, which Young Bucks won that one, and they beat. And I think they beat the Private Party in that match too. I could be wrong, but don't quote me on that one. I'm trying to remember all of it. And then and then this match, where they wanted to reclaim the win from last year. Against the Young Bucks going up against Private Party, and they was doing almost the same finish from last year, except they was doing it in a way of trading pins, which I thought was good. Obviously, in the end, it was the BET triggered by the Young Bucks to trying to remember who it was. I think it was to Isaiah Cassidy.
and they got the win. Young Bucks got the win, again a big momentum, a strong momentum going into Full Gear. Also, FTR comes out and attacks them. FTR goes for the the Good Express, meant to say, onto Matt Jackson. Nick Jackson was being again hold down. Well, they're going to do what they did to Matt Jackson before. I meant to say Matt Jackson before, and they're taking all their time, and all of a sudden, the Hangman and Pace comes out, and then Kenny Omega comes out. And I'm like, holy shit, this is great. The Elite is standing tall, except there's no Cody Rhodes, obviously. But nevertheless, the Elite is right there, reuniting. And and obviously FTR had to out there, and Tony Beck was there too. But yeah, there you go. About Kenny Omega and the Hangman and Pace had a stare down too. They're basically doing all they can to build up Full Gear this coming Saturday, which I thought it was great how they did it. So I enjoyed it. So yeah, Matt Jackson is on the ankle injury. So, but basically, and he was doing 2 in the match too, and this gets me worried about what they're gonna do at Full Gear. With obviously FTR gonna lose, but I don't want to see FTR lose. I think they should go over. But I'll talk more about that when I do the preview, which I'll do that for tomorrow before we get to that show. Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley, the face to face, with Tony being the moderator of it, and basically Excalibur on commentary was explaining that if either man touches each other, then the match will be canceled. It'll be off. So Eddie Kingston comes out first, and Eddie Kingston was already telling Tony Schiavone, "Yo, do your job, Tony Schiavone. Hold the mic up for me to talk." You know that. Also, Jon Moxley comes out, and they can face to face and all that. And then Eddie Kingston gets the microphone away from Tony Schiavone and says, "Yo, you get out here. It's between me and Moxley." And then he says, "It's Eddie Kingston saying this." Eddie Kingston says he's going to give the title to his mom, his mother, and tell her that this is why she never got a grandchild, and also this is why she never got a child. Tends to Eddie Kingston having a child of his own, because that is all he cares about. The world title. He says it is too late for him, and Moxley can't save him because he had to do what he had to do to get that title. So basically, but I mean, Eddie Kingston said more than that too. But I'll just give you an example of what he said. And it was great. I loved it because Eddie Kingston is a great talker. Same thing with Jon Moxley. So Jon Moxley gets the microphone and says, "This is what he said. The longer he's in wrestling, the more he learns that loyalty is a bitch and has a burn over and over, but never thought Kingston would burn him." Says that he was so happy for Eddie Kingston when he signed with AEW, but Eddie Kingston kept yelling and saying, "No, you weren't happy. You wasn't happy." Blah blah blah. That's what I love about Eddie Kingston, man. He's got that. He always got to do something to to counter anything or attention to what his opponents are saying. But it was good though. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it though, for what it was. So Moxley calls Kingston's mother by her name, and Kingston gets pissed off. Like, "Don't you say her name?" And then Moxley said that he made a promise to Kingston's mom that he will always have his back. Kingston says that, but Eddie Kingston says the loudest person in the room is the weakest. And I'm sorry, that was not Eddie Kingston. That was Jon Moxley, because I thought because Eddie Kingston is very done talking. This is Moxley's time to talk. My apologies. So yeah, Moxley said this. He said the loudest person in the room is the weakest person, and Kingston has been real loud lately. Kingston what is going to happen is that what is going on in your head, and he knows what it is. Moxley says Kingston knows the deep down that in his heart, after 18 years and finally getting his shot, that he can't beat Moxley. Moxley says that a scary thought that he didn't deserve it after all. Says that Kingston made a promise to his mother that he can't keep. So Kingston starts saying to Moxley, off mic by the way, saying that Moxley better be ready to kill him at Full Gear because this is the only way he's going to beat him. Yeah, and then he starts walking off and that, and it's just the attention, the attention, all that, everything about it. It was awesome between the two, and that was it, folks. Yeah, Moxley says that Kingston finds himself alone with his own ego against him, he will find out that he isn't the man he thought, and he will say, "I quit." And that was it. Great promos from both guys. The face-off was great. The face-off delivered. The face-off sold us to watch this match at Full Gear, to see them living hell at each other to a point where they're going to say, "I quit." And there's going to be something else to it in this match too, I believe, which I'll do the preview of it once I get to the preview tomorrow. But yes, man, it was awesome, amazing. Both sides, from Eddie Kingston and from Jon Moxley, especially from Eddie Kingston, man. Eddie Kingston, man, he's very good on the microphone, very good, and he deserves that recognition of great promo cutters in pro wrestling. And then we get to a video from the bastard PAC. He's in England at home. He's just sitting there watching TV. In the dark, by the way. He's watching TV in the dark, and then he's basically it's showing him PAC watching Eddie Kingston talking about basically to Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix, Penta El Zero Miedo and Ray Phoenix about where's your little British buddy friend and stuff like that, right? Like what Eddie Kingston said before, from a while back. And then also in PAC, they're showing some special effects and all that, where PAC is sitting there watching it and all that, and then you see PAC, so many PACs in the room, in his him in his regular clothes, sitting on the couch watching at home alone, quarantining himself, and you see a lot of PACs, walking around the room, in his wrestling gear and all that. And then he says, the funny thing about Illusionation is that you have no idea, you have no one to play with, and calls himself a casual of this rotten world. And the PAC says that he has been lost and abandoned before, but he's just getting stronger and faster and more obsessed. And he says he sees everything. And that was it. Now, he's going to be coming back pretty soon, folks. I don't know when. Maybe at Full Gear. Maybe at next week Dynamite. Who knows? But he is coming back, folks. And when he comes back, all hell's going to break loose. When the Bastard comes back, it's going to have a different type of dynamic. Because he was missed dearly since this whole pandemic happened. So it'll be great to see him again. And I thought it was great, by the way, on how they did this with PAC. It was great. Alex Marvez, he reveals that the Nitro Nightmares will get an opportunity against the Butcher and the Blade next week on Dynamite. Also, the Bunny shows up, and also a distraction for the Butcher and the Blade to be up on Natural Nightmares, and that was it. Not much to say about that. The Native Beast, Nada Rose, with Vicky Guerrero versus Red Velvet, being accompanied by Brandy Rose. So, basically, it was also showcased Nyla Rose because she's the number contender against Hikaru Shida, who was at ringside, because she's the AEW Women's Champion. So Nyla Rose worked on Red Velvet, excuse me, Velvet Red. Red Velvet, meant to say. Red Velvet had some offense in the match. She wasn't a slouch. She was actually showing something. But in the end, it was Nyla Rose getting the win. Getting the win. Vicky Guerrero gets on the microphone and runs down on Red Velvet, excuse me, and Brandy Rose. And Brandy Rose goes to sign to Vicky Guerrero because Vicky Guerrero called her the chief bullshit officer. And then so Brandy Rose was trying to go after her, but then Nyla Rose gets in the way. Brandy Rose all of a sudden she backed up and took away Red Velvet, and that's what I thought. To me, I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. Vicky Guerrero said that the truth is Tony Khan has Shida accept the challenge from Nyla Rose at Full Gear. Says that Rose is going to break Shida's bones, and then Shida is going to be surrender the title. Excuse me, surrender the title. Vicky Guerrero bows and says, and basically mocks Shida. Shida grabs her, and then Nyla Rose and Shida starts fighting. We get stop the shots of that. Apart, I should say, from the referees, and that was it. I'm not excited for the match between Nyla Rose and Hikaru Shida, even though I should be, but I'm really not. It's just they haven't done much to build this up, so this is gonna be one of the weakest matches they've ever built up, and hopefully it doesn't end up being the weakest match on the show. We get a video package of Kingmaker versus Adam Page, and I thought it was good the way it was done. With what the wrestlers talking about it, the managers talking about it, the announcers talking about it, even Impact Wrestling, Don Callis talks about it. Wow, it's just the fact they showed Don Callis there, like, wow, that's crazy. And I love how they did it too, with the whole story, the whole story between Omega and Page. It was great, man, and it had some song into it too. I can't remember who it was. I could swear it was like, it sounded like Guns N' Roses, but it was good though. I loved it, and they're really heavily building this up. Where this could be a match of the year candidate for AEW. We shall see. And finally, the main event. The Dark Order will feature Coco Banda, John Silver, and 10, which will they went up against the Gun Club, Austin and Billy Gunn, and the Natural Night, the American Nightmare, I should say, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, being played by Arn Anderson. A 6-tag match. It was all right. What it was. We have Darby Allin there, by who was at in the Raptors watching on like he's Sting. But yeah, it was matches. I thought it was solid and decent in a way. But I had this be the final segment to have on the show for the Golden Show edition for Full Gear. No, but it's whatever. In the end, it was Austin Gunn getting the win for his team. And wow, okay, that's something. So the Dark Order also in the surround the ring. John Silver also gets a steel chair. Try to go out the Clippers with it, but then Orange Cassidy takes a steel chair away from him, gets the orange punch, and that was it. And a little taste of a build up there pertains to their match at Full Gear between John Silver and Orange Cassidy. Which, by the way, this match has been bumped on the main card, and the one that's going to be taking place of the buy-in, because originally it was going to be the buy-in between Orange Cassidy and John Silver, but because how popular these two guys are, especially pertains to John Silver, for the attention that he's been getting on obviously being the elite, because the best thing that's around the Dark Order right now for being the elite is John Silver, besides Mr. Rory Lee, but John Silver has been obviously alongside with Alex Reynolds, but the one who's who could be a breakout star out of the Dark Order is John Silver. And I can see that too. I could definitely see the potential there in John Silver. I like him. But yeah, I'm glad they decided to move on John Silver and Orange Cassidy onto the main card of Full Gear. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the one that's gonna be the opening of the show first. Other than that, what could open the show, but we'll see. But yeah, John Silver versus Orange Cassidy has now been moved to the main card, and what's taking the place of the main card. I mean, what's taking their match spot from the buy-in? It's gonna be the NWA Women's World Championship between Serena Deeb, the champion, versus Allison Kay, who's recently been released of a contract, which expired, by the way, from NWA. Yeah, so Allison Kay is now a free agent, who's the former Sienna from Impact Wrestling. So there you go. That's basically where we replaced the buy-in, the NWA Women's Championship. So there you go. Which now that I think about, folks, I'm looking forward to that match more than I'm looking forward to the AEW Women's World Championship, to be honest. And the thing is, the NWA Women's World Championship is on the buy-in. I'm excited to see that one more than I'm excited to see the AEW Women's World Championship title on the main card of Full Gear. I'm just saying. But yeah, but the Dark Order retreated after having with John Silver because of Orange Cassidy, and also in Clay Rose looks up to the rafters where because he knew that Darby Allin will be there to watch on, and says to Darby Allin, that Darby Allin keeps telling TNT that Clay Rose doesn't want him to be the face of the network because it tends to be the TNT champion. You're the face of the network. And basically, Clay Rose says that TNT loves Darby Allin, and I love Darby Allin, which is why I recruit you, AEW, and convince AEW to bring you in. And then Clay Rose says that he has to wrestle Darby Allin himself to convince AEW to sign him to it, and says that he is the soldier that left the Empire and went to war with the Empire and won, and that pisses a lot of people off. And he says that Darby Allin will not be the ace of AEW because the problem is there is only one ace in AEW, and that is Cody Rhodes. And there you go. And that was good, a good promo there. And that in the show. So there you go, folks. Before I get to talking about wrestling, here are the matches so far. That's all lined up for AEW Full Gear 2020. The Elite Deletion match between Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara, Chris Jericho versus MJF, where if MJF wins, MJF is part of the Inner Circle. Orange Cassidy versus John Silver. Originally was supposed to be in the buy-in, but it's now part of the card of AEW Full Gear. The World Title Eliminator Finals between Kenny Omega versus Adam Page, where in the future one of these two will become more contenders to face the AEW World Champion. In the future, I should say. They'll when they win, they are the normal contenders. I was trying to say, in the future they'll get an opportunity of the AEW World Title, whoever that may be, between Moxley and Kingston. The NWA Women's World Championship will be on the buy-in. Serena Deeb, the champion, versus Allison Kay, the challenger. The AEW TNT Championship, Cody Rhodes, the champion, versus Darby Allin, the challenger. The AEW Women's World Championship, Hikaru Shida, the champion, versus Nyla Rose, the challenger. The AEW World Tag Team Championship, FTR, the champions, versus the Young Bucks, the challengers. And if the Young Bucks loses, they will never go after the tag team titles ever again. In AEW. And finally, AEW World Championship in an IQUIT match. Jon Moxley, the champion, versus Eddie Kingston, the challenger. And there you go. That's all the matches. Now, tomorrow wrestling for this show for AEW Dynamite, the show from November 4th, 2020. by the looks of it, it was 5 matches. 5 matches. And my overall strength for the show for AEW Dynamite, more pertains to the Golem Show edition, more pertains to did the main Golem Show edition itself saw me to watch AEW Full Gear, even though I was going to keep my mind on watch it anyways, because I'm still going to watch it. But did the show itself deliver to make me go home to watch the show, AEW Dynamite, AEW Full Gear, for Saturday? Yes, it did, which is why I'm going to give it a 8 out of 10. Good show. Not a great show, but there were some questionable things of what ended the show. But it's whatever. But the build-ups that they did on the show here were pretty good. But the show was pretty good, and I thought they did a pretty good job of building up Full Gear for everything that they did. For the time they have, and I thought it was great. The highlight of it was the whole thing with the face-to-face between Moxley and Kingston, which I wish that could have been the one that ended the show, to be honest. If that would end the show, I would have given this a 9 out of 10. But 8 out of 10 is good. It's good. And there you go, folks. That is my AEW Dynamite results from November 4th, 2020. This time I got the date right. And now, if you'll excuse me, folks, I'm going to give you one more review, which pertains to another show that I watched earlier today, which was about 3 hours ago at this point now. But basically a couple hours ago I saw, and I'll be right back with you. All right, folks, final results. So far, I give you my All Elite Wrestling Dark results from November 3rd, 2020 edition. Pertains to that results for that Golem Show edition. I already give you the All Elite Wrestling Dynamite results from November 4th, 2020 edition of that Golem Show edition. The focal point of the Golem Show edition. And now I'm about to give you the final stop of the Golem Show edition, where it pertains to All Elite Wrestling Dark Special. So yes, AEW Dark Special results. The show from November 6th, 2020, takes place in Jacksonville, Florida. Your same commentators were Excalibur, Taz, and Anthony Ogogo. And Toma Wrestling on the show, if I recall, I believe it was 7 matches, but we'll find out later together. But let's get to it. The opening match was Big Swole versus Tasha Price. Who is she? I have no idea. I thought she was decent though in the match. Big Swole was impressive as always. There was some spots there that she did look like it was a little a little sloppy, I should say, not botchy, sloppy. But in the end, she got the elevated core relief onto what's her name again? Tasha Price. And Big Swole got the submission win. Christopher Daniels versus Matt Sydal was a pretty good match. Christopher Daniels was going to go for the win. All of a sudden, the Hybrid 2 came out, and Hangel and Jack Evans to distract Christopher Daniels, which Sydal had no idea that was happening. And then Matt Sydal got the win over Christopher Daniels after our roll-up. And the Hybrid 2 leaves when they saw Matt Sydal spot them, like what you guys doing here and all that. and then also Matt Sydal goes to Christopher Daniels and picks basically he's the best and all that, and basically bowing to him, showing respect to him, and Christopher Daniels puts him over, and that was it. So yeah, there you go. Marcelo got the endorsement of Christopher Daniels because Christopher Daniels got basically wanted to return the favor to Matt Sydal. We get Brandon Cutler versus Michael Nakazawa. Match itself, it was what it was, but it was gonna be the turning point for Brandon Cutler after he finally got a win on AEW. Or against to gain his first victory win over Peter Avalon, and was going to continue with him gaining some wins here. So he went against Michael Nakazawa, one of the guys that he lost in the past. So Michael Nakazawa at one point uses his baby oil, try to cheat to win in a way, and it failed miserably. At first he tried. At first attempt, but when Brandon Cutler trying to get in the ring because the ropes got slippery, he's trying to get back in the ring. He basically trying to win the same way he won before with the count out, but didn't happen because Brandon Cutler is going back in the ring from the other side. Now, to me, he could have just slide into the ring, but it's whatever. But he goes put Michael Nakazawa on his shoulders. Michael Nakazawa tried to get the ropes, but he didn't. But then he went to the ropes where he put the baby oil on in the first place, but he couldn't hold on to it because Michael Nakazawa decided to do the baby oil thing, and it backfired on him. Basically didn't work on his favor. In the end, it was Brandon Cutler getting the gut buster. Not trying to remember what Excalibur called it, but that was basically how he won. So Brandon Cutler gets another win. 2 victories so far. And there you go. Dasha Gonzalez, she interviews Frankie Kazarian, trying this again. Returns to him being to get a proper interview this time. And he says he cannot defend the stupidity of what Hybrid 2 did, but he's got a goal, and his goal is to improve that he is the best wrestler in the world, the best wrestler in AEW, and Frankie Kazarian says that he is a better wrestler than anybody on the AEW roster, and he's gonna prove it. And so he said other things too. He put more into it as well, but the way he talked about this too, he had a fiery, passionate promo there, and he's pretty good with that, Frankie Kazarian. So it was good that he did that, and I enjoyed it. Griff Garrison versus Ariel Dominguez. I think that's his name. He was short by the way, but he was built. He had some little offense, but in the end, it was Griff Garrison getting the win. Afterwards, all of a sudden after the match, Lance Archer comes out, and Jake Roberts basically warned Griff Garrison to leave before you get hurt. And Griff Garrison didn't want to listen, and he got hurt. But then Ariel Dominguez got hurt too by Lance Archer, and then Jake Roberts gets on Michael. Jake Roberts was saying that Lance Archer wants another title shot of the AEW title, just if it's against Moxley or Kingston. Roberts says that AEW is afraid of the giving another shot because Lance Archer will do with the AEW title, what Moxley couldn't do, whatever. So then Lance Archer gets on the microphone and he says nobody can stop this path of punishment, and Archer says that neither Moxley or Kingston are paying any attention to him, and then he said that's a big mistake that they're not paying any attention to him. And basically, saying, it doesn't matter if it's going to be Moxley or it's going to be Kingston. He wants, the first title shot in line, which is the ankle having fault. Because let's face it, the winner of the tournament is going to be one of the first to get the first shot. So, but Lance Archer also, he brings up Kingston's family, which is the Butcher, the Blade, the Bunny, Pentagon, the Elzer Miro, and Ray Phoenix. And basically, the way he talked about this too. He said he's got because of the names and because other things too, or things to who's in the Kingston's family. he says he's gonna take care of the butcher because Merchant's the butcher. He's all about butchering stuff, right? Because he's a butcher. He, and then Merchant's the blade. He may say something to the line where he's blade the blade, something like that. I can't remember how he said it. And then Merchant's Ray Phoenix, because he's a phoenix. He said he's gonna burn the phoenix. And then Merchant's the Penta he said he will show no fear. And he basically he's gonna make Penta El Zero Miedo fear the American monster. Could be like Penta El Zero Miedo. It's all about zero miedo. He fears no one. He has zero fear. And he wants to make sure he'll fear Lance Archer. And he says if he can, he'll bounce on the bunny too, just to get to Eddie Kingston. But the way Lance Archer the promo too, with the camera zooming into his face, it caught my eyes and caught my attention. Where when Lance Archer talks, you listen, and for Lance Archer, who's not for his promo works, this made me fell in love with his promos. It was great. It was. I'm pretty sure Jake Roberts, who's a great promo, I'm pretty sure Jake Roberts, because obviously taking Lance Archer under his wing, he's giving him tips on how to cut a promo and how to deliver those promos. Because Jake Roberts is one of the best in the world to deliver promos. How good he can be of his promos. Because Jake Roberts is a very great way he does that one, and he wants Lance Archer to feel that rub of that too, and I thought he did. I thought he did just that. It was great. But yeah, on this show here, I was expecting too much for Return to the Gomez show of this a portion of Dark, but based on how they did it, I thought they did a great job. I just can't believe they did just that. And maybe Lance Archer and Jake Roberts is going to appear on Dark too. I mean on Full Gear. I'm going to say when it comes to that main event match. We'll see. The Dark Order, Stu Grayson and Evil Uno versus Sean Manuna and Rising. And no, not Terrorizing. Rising. By the way, I got matches too, by the way. During the match between Griff Garrison and Arian Dominguez, Taz referenced Botchamania on commentary. Now, we heard Botchamania before in wrestling. When a wrestler hits a botch move, doesn't matter if it was Ring of Honor or in WWE or wherever, you hear crowds chanting, Botchamania, Botchamania. And never we hear any commentators acknowledge that. Not even wrestlers were tends to current promo even acknowledge that. But Taz acknowledged it on AEW, on AEW Dark here. That was funny. And they was cracking up with that one too a little bit. So I just thought I should bring that up because it was hilarious that I heard reference of Botchamania. But anyways, but yeah, Dark Order, Stu Grayson and Evil Uno versus Sean Luna and Rising happened in the match. And the match was pretty decent. In the end, obviously, Dark Order wins. Then we get them to Ricky Starks versus Trevor Reed. Not Trevor Reeve, or not Trevor Reeve. Trevor Reed. I'm gonna read a book. That's basically his last name, Reed. But Ricky Starks, he beats him. Not much for this match, but Ricky Starks won. And not much to it. And finally, the main event: Chuck Taylor being covered by Orange Cassidy and Trent versus Lee Johnson. Lee Johnson, on commentary, they announced that Lee Johnson is not part of the Nightmare family with Cody Rhodes, Arn Anderson, Andy Rose, QT Marshall, Dustin Rose, Diamond Dallas Page. I can't remember who else was in the Nightmare family. Also Tommy Dreamer, but Tommy Dreamer is in Impact Wrestling. But at the time, I remember the Nightmare family being put together before AEW. Tommy Dreamer was one of them. I would say Jeff Jarrett can't remember or recall if he was part of that too. Just by how I feel about Jeff Jarrett, but at the same time, doesn't mean I hate him on a personal level. I guess in a way I do kind of hate him on a personal level because of how he handled TNA after his absence, at his departure, I meant to say. I don't know, but anyways, but yeah, but Lee Johnson, he's not been added to it too. He's part of it now. The Nightmare family. You know, I was like, wow, that's a that was very nice. And you know, Lee Johnson, he's pretty good. He's actually a pretty good wrestler. So, and his match showed it too. Against Chuck Taylor. In the end, Chuck Taylor gets a win, obviously, but Lee Johnson did have an effort against Chuck Taylor in the match. At one point in the match, I should say, Orange Cassidy gave him a hug, or I mean, not a hug. He gave him a high five for a move they did on to Chuck Taylor, and then Trent was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" To basically Orange Cassidy, telling Orange Cassidy, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then he's like, "Come on." And he's like, "Okay, fine." And then he gives a high five to Lee Johnson too. Oh man, that was funny though. That was a funny interaction there. And then Chuck Taylor, after he won the match against Lee Johnson, Orange Cassidy picks him up, and he wants Lee Johnson to be part of the whole, the hug, best friend's hug. But Chuck Taylor didn't want to do it. And then Trent's like, okay, then you give him a hug then. How about you hug him? And then Chuck Taylor and gets hugged by Lee Johnson. I mean, Chuck Taylor gives a hug to Lee Johnson, meant to say. And then Excalibur said, "You got to get the people what they want." And that was it. That was the end of that. And yeah, there you go. That was the end of the show. That was basically the main event, and the main event was a good match. All right, tomorrow wrestling was 7 matches, and my overall showing for the show for AEW Dark Special, the final go home show edition, to get to Full Gear of November 6, 2020. I'm gonna give a show. I'll give the show a 7. Maybe because of the main event and Lance Archer's promo. Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. It was another dark show. And there you go. Nothing to say about that. I'll be right. Now, excuse me, folks. I'll be right back. I'll be right back to close up the show. I'll just reviews. Well, folks, that's it for this All Elite Wrestling Reviews. We're tends to give you 3 results. AEW Dark results from November 3rd, 2020. This time I got the date right. AEW Dynamite results on November 4th, 2020 results. And the AEW Dark Special results from November 6th, 2020. All 3 shows of AEW pertains to their home show editions for AEW Full Gear 2020, which is tomorrow night on doesn't matter what hardware you watch it, on cable, on VR, on Fight TV, or just the UK side, in the foreign side, overseas, I should say, but either way, either way, I'm looking forward to watching it. Can't wait to see it, and I think it's gonna be great. Basically, everything's been built up, everything that's been jam packed and all that. It's gonna be great, amazing, and I can't wait to see how that turns out for Full Gear. And yeah, there you go. Your All Elite Wrestling reviews with 3 results of Dark, Dynamite, and Dark Special. Thank you all for watching. This is the first time you're experiencing yours truly, Natural Born Driller, right here on YouTube.
please, if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button to to keep on supporting me, and also hit that notification bell to to keep up with me with any type of future contents I'll be posting here on my YouTube channel of Natural Born Killer, yours truly. Also, if you enjoyed this review, give it a like. If you didn't enjoy the review, give it a dislike. By the way, thank you all for spending your time day and night by joining me, viewing me, and joining me right here on YouTube, yours truly, Natural Born Killer, as I try to give you the absolute best content that I can give you. And there you go. So you all stay well, stay safe, take care of yourself for everything that's going on in the world. Wear a mask, love one another, live in peace and harmony for us all. God bless one another. Enjoy your weekend. Have a safe, blessed weekend in a way. And no much to say other than, I'm out here. For now, for is Natural Born Killer saying peace on the streets. And I got, when it takes to this type of camera, because of StreamYard, gotta try to do it in a way where it, something like that. There you go. But once again, thank you all. And you all take care. And that's it.